I thought what we would do this morning and this evening is, first of all, try to take a look scientifically and realistically at ourselves. What the heck are you? Think about that. And no matter how often I think of that, it presents a problem. It's a challenging thing. What are you? And what are you doing here? You just happened, your mother and father had a sexual union, and here you're here? For what? Maybe they weren't even planning it. Maybe they went out, had a good time down in Atlantic City, got a little gas, came back, had some sex, and here you are. What are you supposed to do? All that you're supposed to do is try to avoid getting sick and dying. And you can't avoid either of them. You get sick and you die. Nobody has made it. Nobody's figured that one out. And so there must be something. Because you want to get into, and I know we get into occult stuff, mystical stuff, start studying all of these things. But before you can understand strange things of the universe, you have to understand the strange things of yourself. Because they are very strange. And what can we all agree that we all have in common? At least most of us. It's called a brain. Okay? You have a brain. In your head there is one. And you've never seen it. You have never seen it, but it is there. It is inside of your head. And that brain, and Albert, you can jump up if you have any, that brain that is inside of your head is made up of chemical compositions. Okay? Chemical compositions. That's what it's made of. And that's in the middle of your skull.
Who are you? What are you? You can get a mirror, we'll give you some idea of who you are. But is that who you are? It's a reflection. But what's it reflecting? Is it reflecting light? Is it reflecting darkness? What if it's reflecting both? Well, what are you? Who are you? Why are you here? Is there some place to go? Is there some place you need to be? Where do you need to be? We're all in a rush to get somewhere, but we don't know where we're going. And even if we knew where we were going, we'd probably never get there. We say we might get there. Oh, we're gonna get there. Oh, we're definitely gonna get there. Yeah, we might get there. But on whose terms? Yours? On your terms? Are you gonna get there on your terms? Or are you gonna get there on their terms?
Hundreds, German physician Franz Joseph Gall spent a lot of time running his fingers over the scalps of strangers. He wasn't a hairdresser, he wasn't a masseuse, he wasn't like just a big fan of heads. He was a phrenologist. He was the first phrenologist. Gall believed that a person's personality was linked to their skull morphology, that its bumps and ridges indicated aspects of their character. Amazingly, this science actually caught on, was widely practiced for decades, and Gall became something of a celebrity. Well, with a head like his, one can see how he might have been a little bit fixated with skull shape. Eventually, phrenology was dismissed as occult pseudoscience, because it turns out that your cranial contours tell us exactly nothing about what's happening inside the brain. And yet, Gall was actually onto something big, something that we knew nothing about. Remember, at this point, we were just starting to get consensus that the brain was the source of self, and not like the soul or the heart or whatever. His lasting and correct proposition was that different parts of the brain control specific aspects of our behavior. Like we talked about last time, there is a strong link between biological activity and psychological events. But in addition to the interplay of chemicals like neurotransmitters and hormones, a lot of this also has to do with the fact that localized parts of the brain have specific functions, like vision, movement, memory, speech, even facial recognition. Function, in other words, is localized. If you could stimulate different parts of my brain any way you wanted to, and if you ask me nicely, I just might let you could control my movements, my memories, even my personality. Poke my brain over here and my arm would twitch. Poke it here and I'd remember my first kiss. Do it up here and suddenly I'd be filled with a tremendous Hulk-like rage. This is about the link between the brain, that physical hunk of gunk between the ears, and the mind, the thing that is us, our consciousness, our behavior, our decisions, our memories, ourselves. Some neuroscientists like to say that the mind is what the brain does. So one of the driving questions of psychology, and like the human experiment, is how do our brain's functions tie to the behavior of the mind?